To say that Nas Daily has become one of the most hated content creators ever would be a gross understatement. From allegations of trying to exploit an indigenous tattoo artist in the Philippines to his former employee, Isa Al-Habib, who used to present many of his videos, stating publicly that he no longer associates with him and doesn't want anything to do with him anymore.
Does Isa Al-Habib work for Nas Daily?
That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.
Currently, no, I do not work for Nas Daily and I'm not on Nas Daily's payroll. I work for Nas News Arabia, which is under UAE government and under a company called Visioneers.
Right.
As you know, as we both work in the same place. So no, I'm not an employee of Nas Daily. Currently, I'm not either. Like, I don't even shoot videos for Nas Daily anymore.
Nas Daily has gained notoriety by being disrespectful to people's culture and nothing more than just a clickbait scumbag. He is incredibly hated here in the Philippines. Think about it. Filipinos are one of the most laid-back and welcoming humans on Earth, and he manages to piss off all 100 million of us. With so much evidence, controversial issues about his personality, doing paid videos and not disclosing them, and his attitude towards his native origin of Palestine, it seems his future is looking gloomy, and there are layers to this story. Hi, I'm Ivy. Today, we are exploring one of the most tragic and unbelievable stories of how Nas Daily went from being one of the most respected content creators to one whose impact is only getting weaker every single day. On the 25th of May 2022, a reporter by the name Avi Yemeni posted a video on YouTube where he confronted Nasir in Davos, Switzerland.
And I agree with those opinions.
You push the climate change agenda, you push a lot of these agendas, these woke agendas, but here, what's the
friend? We've done more for climate change than you have.
Here? What have you done?
We've done.
How did you get here?
We've done more for climate change than you have.
How did you get here?
Okay, see you later.
Nas, how did you get here? How did you get here?
Avi then went on to call Nas the biggest hypocrite.
You do, mate. You do. There you go. The biggest hypocrite on YouTube.
After calling Nas Daily out on Twitter, Nas agreed to meet up with Avi in Dubai for a 2-hour debate. However, this would turn out to be a totally wrong move for him. From the thumbnail of Nas Daily's 26-minute version, Nas was cleverly put on the good side and Avi was put on the bad side. It was obvious that Nas had put up a carefully edited, watered-down version that would make him look good. Interestingly, what Nas wasn't expecting were the comments. Even on his own platform, his viewers clearly didn't show any single form of support for him whatsoever. Avi owned this debate. Avi won this debate hands down. He kept to facts and didn't resort to personal attacks or opinions like Nas did. Keep in mind, this is only a 26-minute clip of a 2-hour debate. Even so, Nas still lost the debate even in his own edit. Out of the almost 2,000 comments, almost 100% agreed that Nas lost the plot and should just take the L. However, Nas wouldn't do that, and things were about to get a whole lot worse. Fast forward to the following year, in Davos, Nas put his ego on full display in the public, literally. Unprovoked, Nas rudely ran in and interrupted Avi's interview with Luxembourg's prime minister.
And then running away.
Sorry, is he annoying you? Is he annoying you?
No, it's still okay.
Okay,
This is Nas Daily. He's a great Nas Daily.
This guy's annoying. Be careful of this guy. He's annoying.
Nas's behavior here confirmed to his viewers that he is someone who is very rude, someone who can't put himself together in a civilized manner. Even the Luxembourg Prime Minister felt so uncomfortable by Nas's attitude.
Lawyer before, if you need some help.
Wait. What law? What law? Nas might need criminal help. Nas.
Others believe he's a narcissist. Whether due to a lack of self-awareness or sheer stupidity, this narcissistic attitude would further portray Nas as a man who has frequent emotional meltdowns. Nas would further completely destroy his image on something very close to billions of people around the world. On the 15th of July 2024, Nas uploaded a video titled, "I studied Islam for 1 month, and I lost all my hair." In that video, Nas showed how he went back to his Islamic roots. Although Nas had previously created his own religion called Nasism out of curiosity to be non-attached to any particular religion, this video didn't give him any credibility as someone who genuinely returned to Islam whatsoever, but as someone who would do anything just for content. You didn't even know when Islam started. Please don't misguide people. This guy should be banned permanently. Brother, don't paint Islam with your own brush. There's no partial Islam. Islam is about entering into it fully. May Allah guide you. Although another comment made things even worse. The most hypocritical video I've ever seen. Which is true because if you say you studied Islam for 1 month and couldn't even get some very basic knowledge right, it questions what he was practicing throughout his life before he went and created his own religion in the first place. Judging from the comments and like versus dislike ratio of that video, it's obvious Nas's impact in what appeared to be his own community has totally gone. As you'll soon discover even more, Nas's impulsive and clickbaity behavior puts him in a very bad situation. With a video that didn't sit well with Muslim viewers all over the world, things soon take a much darker turn. Many Muslim creators graciously and lovingly pointed out his errors.
One thing that we can take from this in his latest video on Islam is
I shaved my head completely just to make a point.
you don't do Islam to prove a point. Your intention should be to please your creator.
The creator by the name The Dean Show TV on YouTube called him out on his wrong view about Islam, not speaking about the situation in Gaza and how he had previously called himself Israeli first. Although it's hard to gauge how truthful this even is, given how he had been caught on camera saying "fuck Israel" in a video with a group of people and then tries to take it back when he noticed a camera was recording him.
What you say? Israel, sir. No, we don't love Israel, my boy. We don't. Free Palestine.
It just goes to show why people call him a complete hypocrite. He can't publicly speak out against Israel, nor can he also publicly support Palestine. This is pretty close to true. For example, when he mistakenly talked himself into admitting that some of his videos on Nas Daily are paid advertisements.
Sometimes we get a brand deal in which I have to go on the spot for 1 full day and make a video about a person.
However, when the YouTuber Silicon Valley Girl asked him if he declares this in his videos, Nas then realized he had made a mistake, but it was too late.
Interesting. So sometimes the characters that are in your video are actually paid sponsorships.
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
Do you say that in the video?
So it's actually like less than 3% of the content. And we do not say that because, well, one, in the post, it's when we say thank you to XYZ, blah, blah, for making this possible. Two, it's like we don't live in America. So you don't actually have to say it.
Oh, different rules. But do you travel like everywhere to film those people?
This also added another layer of awful and cringe. When he was asked about criticisms, which, ironically, Silicon Valley Girl named that chapter his attitude to being exposed, Nas literally displayed his egotistic attitude right there and then. This would make bad situations even worse.
It's like, you're famous, everybody loves you, you get so much money, you make $500,000 a month, and some random ass kid on YouTube makes a video about a fish. Yeah, make more of these videos. I'm making $500,000 a month.
Well, perhaps these are the signs of a narcissist that people call him. Inflated self-importance, difficulty handling criticism, exploitative behavior, and superficial relationships. Although Nas is no exception to inflated self-importance and difficulty handling criticism, however, being rude toward other people's culture and exploitative behavior aren't something Nas would do, right? Well, wrong. Again, perhaps due to stupidity or lack of awareness, on February 8th, 2023, Nas Daily uploaded a video about the island of Bali and it didn't take long before this video was met with raging comments. Sadly, the response to this among locals saw him being called, amongst other things, disgustingly ignorant. She is white, he is white. Racism has entered the chat. Nas posted a video that made racism sound like an adventure. Someone wrote on Instagram, "First, I thought it was a satire. Then I expected a plot twist. And now I'm disappointed that you don't mention any critical aspect of white tourism in Bali." Oddly, the fact that Bali has no public transportation to speak of was presented as a positive. He presented the reality of thousands of roads clogging scooters zipping through green, beautiful rice fields as joyous. Perhaps one could excuse Nas for this mistake, but he had done something like this before. As Nas's infamy grew, so did his appetite for doing things that are borderline exploitation. In 2020, Nas also showed his degeneracy when he caused controversy in Singapore by labeling the country the almost perfect country. One would think this would make most Singaporeans happy, right? Well, Singaporeans saw through his petty antics and immediately knew he was just looking for clicks. A Singaporean male TV presenter put it directly to him on live TV.
Encourage more people to follow you. I mean, is that a sort of a recipe for success in terms of getting more eyeballs? Because ultimately, that is what you want. That's what you need to succeed, right?
To which someone later wrote, "I remember when he praised Singapore way too much until every Singaporean on the internet told him to shut up, all because he was salty over the fact he can't get into Malaysia with an Israel passport." His antics in the whole of Asia-Pacific countries have triggered news articles like "Campaign to unfollow Nas Daily gained traction after controversy with tribal tattoo artist." Nas Daily branded neo-colonialist over exploitative Philippines content, and comments like, "He goes so far thanks to his Filipinos followers, but I think Filipinos were now awakened after him exploiting their culture," referring to when his online learning platform, Nas Academy, offered a tattooing course with a 104-year-old Wang Od, a legendary Mambab Tok who lives in Kalinga in the Philippines. Wang Od's grandniece, Grace Palikas, claimed the traditional tattoo artist had not given her consent to Nas Academy. In the months that followed, another allegation soon came through. Louise Mabulo, the founder of a social enterprise aimed at helping farmers, revealed her own encounter with Nas. Mabulo proceeded to write on Facebook about how Nas visited her hometown in 2019. She stated that Nas had been rude, mocked the local Tagalog accent and language, and prioritized clickbait content over genuine interaction with the people. She also said that Nas was fueling neo-colonialist narratives with his behaviors around the world and not genuinely stating when a video is a paid advert. His credibility took a further downturn when he described Sam Bankman-Fried as the most generous billionaire, and then later deleted the video. And when he also called Changpeng Zhao, founder and CEO of Binance, as the most humble crypto billionaire. However, Binance was later charged with breaking sanctions and money transmitting laws, and Zhao was found guilty of money laundering. Ironically, Nas had genuinely acknowledged that his career would soon come to an end.
Nas Daily will lose some of the magic in the next 5 years. We will lose the magic.
I guess the time has now come. Nas's options are either to continue making videos with a dying audience, or just fully commit to his tech products that are also attached to the name Nas, which would probably piss people off the moment they hear that word. Either way, his career isn't looking good. While I totally could be proven wrong, he wouldn't be relevant in only 12 months' time.